Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I'm Theo.
I'm Petra.
And today we're here to talk about House of the Dragon.
Season 2, first 2 episodes.
We're back, baby. I'm so excited. Episode 1. Well, we open with Winterfell.
And I'm just saying...
the wall.
I'm just saying that was for me, I was just like, if the rest of the season is gonna be like this, I'm gonna be very disappointed. I think this was very lackluster for me. This is why I don't like that episode that much. I prefer episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it just didn't live up to the, expectations, but it was just... For me, it felt like obvious Easter egging. I don't know if it's just me being traumatized by Game of Thrones, but I'm like, oh, we are gonna go to the familiar location people love. And we are not gonna give us anything important, really. It's just, you can cut it out, and it would be fine if you just delete the whole section. It just felt like, yeah, let's go to the wall.
Now, see, there are two types of reactions people can have. And one is the TikTok trend of everyone hearing the House Stark theme, being like, yes, the North remembers, King in the North, whatever.
Meanwhile, me rolling my eyes so hard.
But what I loved about that scene is the little piece of lore we got, because while Daenerys' dragons just fucking fly over the wall like it's nothing, Queen Alicent and Jaehaerys visiting the wall and the dragons refusing to cross, I kinda loved that.
That was nice. That was only part I kinda enjoyed, because not many people know about
the story or what Jaehaerys did to the kingdom, or Alicent.
Because we start with the Great Council, but you don't know anything about this king who built the roads and whatever. I don't like him that much, but it was just nice to see that they pulled something from the history that it's not obviously fan service.
Yeah.
Because the whole scene was fan service to me.
Well, we have to wait and see. Maybe Jace will go back to Winterfell. I like the theories about, book timeline, because Game of Thrones did nothing with anything concerning magic. I like the theory of a dragon egg in the crypts in Winterfell.
Oh, because that was the whole theory about how did he manage to get the alliance from the Starks and everything. And now I'm actually, because I forgot about it, and now I'm even more pissed that they gave us literally nothing. Because I think we were talking about this after the episode aired, that the green scenes in the episode feel like they are actually after 2 weeks after Luke dies, and then the black ones, it feels like it's immediately after, so it kind of felt disconnected in a way.
Highlights of the episode: the talk Rhaenys and Daemon have. Raven told Rhaenyra her son is dead.
Mm-hmm.
She needs time to mourn. Daemon having the reaction of while the mother mourns, the queen ignores her duties or something. I was like,
something along that.
Fair, but also
Rhaenyra scenes in general, this episode, the acting from Emma Darcy, that was magnificent. Her finding the body on the beach, and the whole beach scene, that was wonderful.
Yeah, their acting is spot on, and there was so much exploration that I didn't expect necessarily with Rhaenyra and how she felt, and the fact that they found Erex's wing, and then there were other conversations in the episode.
I love to see Aegon. He was I think he was the most interesting character Aegon in that episode.
In episode 1 was so it was pure comedy. I loved it, and this is what House of the Dragon humor and Game of Thrones humor used to be. This is what the humor needed to be in Game of Thrones later seasons as well, not just cock jokes, and that's what it was in later seasons with Game of Thrones. But here the humor is so...
The fun council meeting when Aegon brings his child to work, that was very sweet, and then him just playing around with Tywin Lannister. Him
going to get Jaehaerys to be he's my heir, he should be on the council to see how things are done. I'm like, babe, you're already a better father than Viserys ever was, period.
At least to his children with Helena, definitely. We don't talk about his bastard children, I suppose.
We're not even aware if he understands that he has bastard children. I don't know if he processed that.
He's drunk.
He's drunk, yes, most of the time. He used to be, now he's giving my newly found sobriety. No, he's just not drunk during the day because
he was doing so well until the whole end of the episode happened. Like, he was doing so well. He went to the council meeting. He was there hearing people's objections. He was trying to be nice to his children.
He fabulously did a twirl and sat on the throne.
Yeah, he appointed Aemond as his council member, you know. He
Yes.
was doing so well, and then, like, I feel so bad for him, you know. Like, he was getting his shit together, and now we are back to the ground zero.
The family dynamics as well, because they were brought up, not by Viserys, but in their family, the Viserys-Daemon relationship and how Viserys always kept Daemon at arm's length and didn't know what to do with him. He was just giving him, the commander of the city watch, master of laws, sure, just do something, be occupied. Meanwhile, Aegon, not only is he doing a better job at being a father in one episode, but he also includes his brother, who I don't know how much he internalizes that Aemond thinks he's better than him and he should be heir or whatever. Aegon and Aemon's relationship as brothers is much better than Viserys and Daemon's.
Hopefully we're gonna have more scenes in between them, because so far we don't have that much. Like,
they
don't
are
have
a bit
conversation.
divided, yeah. But I also love how this episode 1 showed us the division and infighting in Team Green. Because there are a lot of people that think they should be in power, or they think they do steer the power. And Aegon, with his newfound resolve and...
he became like active player. Because until then he was like, I'm rejecting everything that's happening. I'm on the outside, you know. Like, Alicent literally had to drag him to meet Rhaenyra and Daemon in that one episode, you know, and like be there and like and participate with the rest of the family. He was like, I don't want to be here. I want to be in the flea bottom drinking and whoring around.
Exactly. And because he's a much active player and he's like, I'm king now, and the people have accepted me as king and will offer me all the love I didn't receive from my mother or father. Him trying to make some effort in turn messes with Alicent and Otto's plans, and we have that very interesting conversation where Alicent is like, the novelty of rule will wear off and we'll be able to like take power again. I love it. I think the Kanti genes on Aegon transferred from Otto.
Definitely.
Because he has this like hand on his hip.
However vicious.
The caprice of youth.
They all wanna act. I am wise over here. You're also fabulous, my dude.
Oh, I love that. But also you have the Hightower family and Alicent's kids, but then you have also Larry's and Crispin Cole.
Larry's pulling strings.
And they both want power or like to have something in return.
Yeah, and they are both acting as advisors to different little camps. We saw the talk Larry's had with Aegon.
And then we haven't seen this before, because Alicent and Aemond were kind of close in season 1, but I guess after the whole killing of Luke, they seem like they're not talking to each other, because they were close. Like, I think she was like closest to Aemond from all of her children.
Yeah.
And then they are just like, we are on formal terms. Like, I think he was calling her Alicent instead of mother or anything. Scene.
And I was so invested in this. After season 1, I was discussing with Petra, like, I cannot wait to see where the relationship goes, because, as you said, like, who did she have a relationship with from her kids? Helena is weird as fuck, and she can't relate to her at all. I feel like she tries, but it's also so hard to understand Helena.
Yeah, no, Helena is not one who gives anything back, I would say. It's or if she does, like, you don't understand it if you are not
with Aegon. Some mothers give birth to their own pain.
Yes.
I think Alicent cannot even look at Aegon sometimes without remembering Viserys. And
she was 15 and he was the first child. So I think that's like impossible relationship. Even when she tries, it's like, well, sometimes you have the least favorite child, and it's Aegon.
And with Aemond, she was needed as a mother until he didn't have a dragon. He was bullied by the other kids with the dragons. So I feel like her motherly instinct, if they kicked in with any child, it was with Aemond. And now to see that relationship strained, Like,
I really want to see for both of them to have like scenes together, because like it's like they are talking about each other with the other people, and I want them to have like confrontation before he goes to Harrenhal or anything.
I hope it happens, but seeing the little conversations we have throughout these 2 episodes, I think we're gonna get some nice character moments, because we had Aemond Crispy. I cannot call him. I call him Crispy in private. I cannot call him Kristen Cole.
Like, it's so interesting because we had Aegon Larrys in this episode, and then we had Crispy and Aemond, and like they were bonding in the Green Council episode when they were hunting down Aegon. Yeah. But it's just so interesting because I feel like, everybody knows that Alicent is still simping after Rhaenyra. You cannot overcome the power of a situationship when you are a teenager.
Yeah, which one do you think screamed Rhaenyra the first time they did it, Crispy or Alicent?
No, definitely
both
Alicent.
At the same time. You know what? New headcanon. They climaxed at the same time and they both screamed Rhaenyra.
Definitely.
Beautiful. We need to have other interesting talks in this episode. Mysaria and Daemon, or Mysaria, well, however you choose to pronounce her name. Her and Daemon, I loved her line, you're speaking of high-born games, I am low-born. It doesn't matter to them who sits the Iron Throne, who is in power, what games they're playing. Her help can backfire, and we saw that with Blood and Cheese. Let's talk about that and finish our episode 1 breakdown and discussion.
I don't have the complaints people have about this, because I think people were expecting bloodbath and like
red wedding type shit. I'm sorry, no. I think the horror of it all was covered by the sounds and the acting in the scene. I'm sorry, it was visceral. I love the long walk.
Oh, that was brilliant idea.
Helena and Jaehaera holding her,
and the foreshadowing Helena has of her son dying, and I feel like she wasn't sure it's like actually happening or she's dreaming again.
I love that theory. I love it so much. And then the realization of what's actually happening in that moment.
It was carried by the actress a lot, I would say.
For me, it's more meaningful once you start thinking about how the guilt, the deliciousness of the guilt Crispy and Alicent will feel, because Alicent maybe should have been there with Helena,
or Cole should have been
Cole should have been at his post also, maybe.
I just want to say, after watching especially episode 2, I feel like both teams suck at the security. Like, it's laughable, like people can just sneak in and nobody is just thinking about it.
Yes. But also you have to... You know how toilets worked in medieval times?
Yeah.
When they had basically the chute, the downwards tunnel from the toilet to the ground. People, they stopped doing that because so many people were assassinated through the shit chutes in the towers.
Meanwhile, Tyrion Lannister killing his father in the toilet, just not even bothering with that.
While I agree that it's very easy to get into all of these places that you would assume are high security, I appreciate the assassination plots. You kind of assume you are safe because you're so high profile. Why would anyone try anything? Like, are they stupid? And then someone dares try something. Is this where I bring up Bobby Kennedy for you?
Oh, no.
I feel like security was there, and did it help?
I don't want to kill myself today. Thank you. Let's move on. I ruined my mood. I don't want to talk about it.
I feel like we should learn from mistakes, but I don't know how much we actually do. So it humanizes the characters. This is my favorite excuse, and I feel like Petra, at some point, she's gonna roll her eyes at me if I say it. It's very human of them, ain't it? She's very close.
I'm ignoring what you just said.
Security is a joke, but let's go into episode 2, and
which was so much better. From the first scene, like, I had goosebumps. Like, we have the aftermath of Blood and Cheese.
Oh yes.
And I was like, I just love they actually included that, because it would be just so easy to just show Aegon raging and breaking the little Valyria Lego set. No, we actually had like people being like taken out and being like sniffed by the dogs, and like them carrying the bloody sheets and everything.
That was so visceral. Like, I don't need to see a child being decapitated live in front, like on screen. If I see the bloody mattress and the bloody sheets, it's enough for me.
We saw the body. We are gonna see the body
and
later.
We did
that was
see
enough.
the body. Oh, I didn't expect that. And the handling, yeah, and exactly the fallout, the complete chaos, because it would be. How the fuck did this happen?
I also like the violins. I think the score this episode was delicious. I cannot wait for it to be like on Spotify or something.
Ramin was cooking.
Yeah, with this one.
Yeah. No, and then we get Aegon and his rage, and I'm so glad he's destroying all of that old Valyria model.
I'm just like, babe, you are already in war, but I get it. You're just completely crushed because he was like ready to like kill anybody and everybody.
Yeah, and it's so. After watching the first 20 minutes of this episode, I turned to Petra and I was like, I think I'm Team Green after this episode.
Him and Otto were. Otto. For me, Otto is the highlight of this episode.
But also, if you sit down and process what happened to this family and what they did to each other in this very incipient phase of the war, just Rhaenyra's child, the whole mistake, Vhagar and Erex and all that, the whole thing was so sudden. And they hurt each other deeply, and then the murder of the heir to the throne, and
especially like a small child, because I think like, okay, if it's Aemon, they would be like, oh, okay, makes sense, they went after him,
and dragon battle and all that. Yeah. There are reasons there, but this is such a blow to the Greens, and this is what I mean.
They were holding Queen hostage.
Yeah,
and they were in the room with the two heirs, the princess and the prince, and then they just managed to sneak out.
Yeah, and Tom Glinkani as Aegon is doing such an amazing job.
It's like everything's going into
like
deeper
they made
shit.
Me feel for these people that you don't feel anything for in the book. You're like, they had it coming. A son for a son, motherfuckers. I don't care. Here, seeing them suffer. Once again, it takes
like
some
clenching the
blanket,
the pillow, or what it was. The acting was so delicious. Also, like they have a scene where they almost talk to each other, but it's like they're like forced to be couple. They have two kids together, and they don't know how to handle each other. They don't know how to speak about such a terrifying moment of their
so
life.
Many people might misinterpret that as Aegon being an asshole. I just feel like so much was unspoken between them. I feel like they acknowledged each other's grief. And like you said, they are also very awkward with each other. They were forced to marry, forced to have the children. Like, I don't know how they don't talk to each other.
Like the small talk they had about their kids, maybe, but that's it. But now I think it's gonna be even harder for them, because maybe Aegon will kind of feel responsible.
Because there's so much pain there.
Yeah, because I think in the book is how like pull them apart even more. So I don't think they're gonna have like some scene when they're like grieving together.
Yeah, and then immediately Otto trying to manipulate the masses into being like, they see you as weak already, but let's spin it in our favor.
Yeah, and he was very smart. He was like, let's see your mother and your wife grieving. We are not gonna show you. You don't have to go outside.
Of course, it is disgusting, but also it is that's the necessary actions. That's how you win wars. And these people are at war now. This family with each other, and it makes me feel so hard for. I didn't think I could have feelings for Team Green at all, but they humanized them so much with this episode.
Especially Otto, he was just working overtime with everything, and they were just Aegon throw him under the bus.
And Aegon, in the conversations they have, it's extremely good writing.
Oh, we have nice scenes with Aemon as well, because he's going through his grief as well, and like all the blame.
Also, mommy issues confirmed. I mean, set in stone now, because we had them hinted at last season, but now...
especially now that he's not talking to Alicent, he's like, okay, I have to go to my actual mommy down in a brothel, who's gonna cuddle me and call me a good boy. And we have a nice foreshadowing when he picks up the coin That was
and the Harrenhal burning behind him. Oh, it's so good. They are doing so much with the shots. Gorgeous. Gorgeous set design, but also gorgeous directing in episode 1 and 2 now.
Yeah, especially episode 2, like the funeral scene, that was genius. Like the whole idea they had about the procession, like the drummers, the carriage, the small fucking child.
I didn't
being
expect to see
there.
that. Oh my god, it traumatized me.
And the way like Helena and Allison are just parade in front of the people to show their grief, especially Helena.
Oh, and
not used to seeing the people.
I really felt Helena's panic attack and just trying to relate to her, because she's clearly, we talked about how she might be neurodivergent and clearly coded as in season 1, but here she has the panic attack and the meltdown, and I'm like, oh, she's overstimulated for sure. Plus the grief, she just lost a child.
I think that was also like nice bonding moment between her and Allison.
Let's talk about the important conversations people have this episode.
Oh, there are a lot of them.
We were talking green, let's keep on talking green and then
switch to team black.
Yes. I mean, we finish with Otto and Egon. Are we there, or do you want another conversation that happened this episode?
Oh no, we can keep doing that, because they had multiple conversations. In this episode we have the council after. And it's interesting because like Otto and Allison are telling him to be cautious, to calm down, not to act irrationally. But he's a father grieving his son.
And that's how we end up with all the rat catchers being hung.
Yeah, I can imagine why Otto was so pissed.
Yeah, and
literally throwing his plants into the fire.
Everything boils over this episode with everyone, and the Otto Egon conversation of course Egon listened to Crispin and he's like, Crispin, great plan, Crispy, sending Eric to Dragonstone to assassinate Rhaenyra, great plan. And then Otto finally speaking truth. I feel like, you know how we were saying no one speaks to each other, and it's fucked up. I feel like some of the players finally spoke to each other, and they spoke so truthfully and blatantly and to the point.
That Otto got fired.
And then the conversation that happens on the black side, that is very satisfying to watch and so well written. Rhaenyra and Daemon finally talking and touching upon so many things. One, I don't think I ever trusted you fully. And sure, when I was young, it was cute, because it's giving. I can fix him, I promise. And she's like, but now I'm older and I'm realizing stuff.
And I'm like, I realized that I actually have problems to deal with, and like I cannot handle your bullshit as well.
Yeah, and Viserys and
Viserys is always hanging between them. Like there's like they will never overcome that.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Daemon being like, oh, you think he wanted you to be his heir? No, it was all about me, not to be more popular than he was. I just like his petty ass.
Yeah.
Harsh truths. Like, that was 5 minutes of great acting and great dialogue.
Yeah, and harsh truths on each side. Because I even forgot Daemon said that, but because I was concentrating on Rhaenyra saying, you think that's the issue? Like, why? I don't trust you. You think he was afraid of you? He couldn't trust you, Daemon.
They didn't have time to actually talk about it, because I think they had a little conversation when he choked her, and then Luke dies, and there's no time to actually have proper conversation, because then she was grieving, and now they finally have time to talk. And there's so much to talk about, how long they have been married, 10 years?
Yeah.
Or whatever, 5 years. And they I guess the honeymoon phase is over. I mean, they care about each other, but if you don't discuss certain things, you will end up discussing them at the wrong time. And he leaves, and then we have the scene between Bela and Rhaenyra, and I think we are building Bela up as a bigger player, which I love to see.
Yeah.
Because then also, she's the girl boss, she has the crossbow, and she has the nice outfit, nice hairstyle, and she's capable, she has a dragon, and Rhaenyra trusts her. And hopefully we will see more action. But speaking of that, we have new characters and the common folk, dragon seeds, and I'm so excited to see them, because we have I think we have introduction in each episode. We are gonna have a new dragon seed, and so far we have 2 I mean, technically
spoil-
3.
I guess it's warranted a spoiler warning, but if you have no idea what we're talking about, you don't know what the dragon seeds are, you're fine. Just know that some of the small folk are important, and all the named, the named characters, we can start there. Some Ellen, Adam, and Hugh
Are important.
perhaps, maybe, in some way.
I mean, we have a nice scene of Adam and the sea smoke on the beach.
Hugh in King's Landing is also important. He's the blacksmith, no?
Yes.
That asks for more money from Aegon. I like the little conversation with his wife, that she had to walk 2 hours for the chicken, for the soup, and it was triple the price.
The blockade is already on, so there's a shortage of food. So I think there's gonna have consequences in the later episodes. So I'm happy to see that they are setting everything up.
We love all of this because, not to push on a wound that still hurts, but where the fuck how do the people of King's Landing feel about Cersei blowing up their whole religion? Blowing up the Pope?
I mean, I really want to know how did they feel about Rhaenys just fucking killing them in the
I know how they feel about that, but that's a heavy spoiler.
Oh, damn. Somebody read the
Someone
leaks.
read Fire and Blood.
I mean, Rhaenys' character has kind of nothing to do with her book version, so...
Oh, yeah, no, but I can see... They are built... That scene is gonna make sense once we end this whole story and some things happen. I think that scene is gonna make more sense. And it's most probably, now that we have so many other small folk scenes, I feel like that scene is gonna add to the dissatisfaction of the people in general, of how the Targaryens treat them, what this war...
Started revolution.
Perhaps, no? Wouldn't it make sense?
Somebody should write manifesto. But then we have the emotional climax of the episode. Also, we have
there's so many
being
things.
Crispin, and one of the things he feels guilt. I don't know if he feels guilty about not being there, but he's like, I fucked up and I need to blame somebody else for what I've done. And he uses poor Eric, or I don't know which one it is that was with Team Green.
I think Arik is with the...
Rhaenyra?
No, Eric is with Rhaenyra.
Oh, okay. So he forces the poor dude to be like, listen, you need to go to Dragonstone, pretend to be your twin and kill Rhaenyra, because I feel like shit that I fucked
he's
up.
reflecting so much of the anger and guilt onto Eric.
We were just there having dinner or lunch or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, he should do what Alicent does, take a bath. Wash it off.
Take a bath. Oh my god, the amount of baths Alicent is taking, but I feel like they are foreshadowing some things. It's interesting.
It's very Ophelia coded, especially I'm like, are you committing suicide, baby? What is happening there?
I was getting suicidal.
I mean, she was low-key suicidal in season 1, so she, especially young Alicent was just with her finger,
Yeah.
playing with her fingers. I'm like, anxiety up, ready to kill herself.
Crispy sends Eric to Dragonstone.
We have a nice shot of Eric, or I don't know which one of the twins, just walking through the Dragonstone, and we have kind of nice details about how castle is once everybody's just going to bed,
all the corridors, everything is so
maids
much bigger.
cleaning up. They're cleaning up the big table with the map as well.
Yes,
I love all these little details we actually had this episode. It feels like there are actually people living in that universe, in the castles.
The world feels alive.
And I was surprised that they took it so far, because I don't know how exactly it is in the book, but I don't feel like he actually makes it into Rhaenyra's room.
I actually loved that it was so easy to sneak in to kill Jaehaerys and to try to kill Rhaenyra, because it also makes you realize these people are normal people in their beds, in their pajamas, and anyone can do anything to them.
But yes, we have the moment when they just start fighting each other, and it just twins born together, just fighting each other to death.
Oh, and we get then earlier in the episode he says we are one soul split in two bodies. Jaime and Cersei, very Jaime and Cersei, because they also are we came into this world together.
we belong together.
Yeah.
In a way, but it's also like because the actors are twins. It gives you more emotional impact seeing them fight, and then like when the one dies and the other just has to kill himself because like for basically like kinslaying. Like imagine like living with that.
And he defended his queen, but at the end of the day,
He
it
killed
was
his
like-
own flesh and
Yeah.
blood, and that's not something people look kindly upon. Like no matter what you believe after watching Game of Thrones, kinslaying is a fucking huge sin in Westerosi culture.
This emotional climax has drained me. I was crying. I was legit crying. The fight between the brothers and what it means, because I feel like it's in microcosm, the brothers killing each other is what the Dance of the Dragons is. Rhaenyra and Aegon, I hate to remind everyone, but they are brother and sister.
Family being torn apart for politics. So yes, like you protected your queen, but like nobody's gonna look you in the eye now. And it was just so tragic to see him like just kill himself in front of her.
My eyes are watering, I can't even process. This sent me spiraling harder than blood and cheese. Once again, the world feels so alive and the characters in it, and
No, it was good. I'm just so happy that actually this is what I kind of needed from the episode 1, and I just didn't get it, so this is maybe why I'm just like appreciating this episode way more. Oh, also I just want to point out, because I think this is like one of the last scenes, the Otto Ellison scene when he's just packing his stuff and leaving. I'm just like, it just reminded me how I think in the beginning of the episode when they talk after the murder, he looks like he wants to give her a hug, but then he's like, yeah, we don't do this in the family anymore. And I think that also like Ellison not being able to connect with Aegon, and like I don't know how to comfort you in this fucked up moment.
that scene was so, and they were directly, yeah, I know which scene you mean. I have seen, then she burst into tears because we were talking about the Catholic guilt, the very Catholic coded Alicent that we have, but
And she's like, what did I do to my daughter? And he just doesn't know how to help
Otto
her.
shutting it down immediately. He's like, I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah.
They are so ill-equipped emotionally, all of them, and it's fathers and mothers fucking up their children. And Alicent walking out of that room, seeing Aegon distraught.
Oh man, it's a depressing episode in a way when you still have all the characters are just spiraling.
And this is why we love House of the Dragon. Me and Petra were discussing how it's not the actions. I was telling her that this is not what I loved about Fire and Blood, the history book. Not the action, not all the dragons fighting, not all the battles. The family story. How do you get there? How does a family come apart in such a way, and how do they get to hurting each other?
That's why I also
so
enjoyed
deeply?
Lannisters in A Song of Ice and Fire, because like
Yes.
it's just like family, they should be sticking together, but like the hate between
Cersei
just-
Tyrion,
yeah.
Tywin Tyrion.
it's just toxic family. We love to
Yeah, we do
watch them.
have a plan to maybe we were playing around with an idea of a video of the fathers of Westeros, fathers in Westeros and their roles, and mothers as well. We will see.
Oh, what do you mean they die in childbirth?
No mothers, just fathers. Daddy. Westerosi daddies coming next on our channel.
Eventually, after we finish season 2.
Yes, but these 2 first episodes, beautiful. I think this is how the rest of the season will go. I believe we will break down 2 episodes at a time.
Yeah,
That's also a good division because it has a number divisible by 2. Is
Yeah.
that
And we
English
have-
even?
and we can discuss it more because we'll have more plot to cover.
And these episodes are sister episodes. The events of the first episode have their results and fallout happen in the next episode. So
We'll see what happens next. Maybe more action. There'll be some
Oh,
dragon
yes.
fighting.
We will see some dragons dance finally. For those of you who enjoy the action part of this, but isn't it lovely when we have writing to break down? Yes.
Thank you for watching.
And see you guys next time.